Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Syed Ahmad Zaki bin Syed Mazir. My matrix number is 2019440328. And my part for our assignment is introduction. So the introduction for our assignment is Myanmar, often known as Burma, is a Southeast Asian country in the western part of the continent. The country's official English name, which had been the Union of Burma from 1885, was changed to the Union of Myanmar in 1989. The country has been known in Burmese as Myanmar, or more specifically Myanmar since the 13th century. Rangoon, the English name for the city that functioned as country's capital from 1948 to 2006, was likewise abolished in 1989 in favor of Yangon, the Burmese name. In 2005, the government began relocating its administrative headquarters first to Pienmana, about 200 miles north of Yangon, and later to Nai Pi Tau, a newly built city near Pienmana. Myanmar's capital city, Nai Pi Tau, was declared in 2006.
Assalamualaikum Medan Aina, and my name is Muhammad Wangka, and my matric number is 2020990-291. Firstly, I want to say sorry for the noisy background because it was a raining day at the time I made this video. Today I am going to present about my point, which is the background of Myanmar in historical, political and economic. First and foremost, the background of Myanmar is a country. The background of Myanmar in historical is Myanmar is a country of 56 million people, has abundant natural resources such as oil, natural gas, timber, and minerals. Myanmar, once known as the rice bowl of the world, it was the richest country in the region at the time it gained independence from colonial rule in 1948. But decades of military rule has ravaged the country. It was a colony of the British Empire for more than a century. Myanmar achieved independence in 1948. Myanmar practiced democracy straight away after achieving its independence in 1948, and the democracy was introduced by UNO in Myanmar with the concept of parliamentary democracy. Representative democracy survived in Burma until the military coup of 1962 led by General Win Ne Win. Throughout this period, there were no free elections and freedom of expression and association were almost entirely denied. Ne Win abolished the constitution and framed a new one in 1974 based on an isolationist colony. During the 1988 protests, Aung San Suu Kyi rose to prominence as the leader of the main opposition party, the National League for Democracy (NLD). In 1990, the junta held election in which Suu Kyi garnered 82% of the vote, despite being under house arrest. The military government refused to acknowledge the result and imprisoned many politicians, forced others to flee, and closing the country to the outside world. Next, in political, there are few background of political in Myanmar, which is one of it is criticism by international community due to its poor human rights record such as child labor, sexual violence, population flight. And the second one is penalized by international communities through sanction and embargo. And the thirdly is Rohingya. There is a website related to Rohingya entitled The Shifting Politics of Rohingya Refugees in Malaysia on July 10, 2013. As the Rohingyas become increasingly prominent in Malaysia, certain quarters have come to perceive them as a social, economic and security threat. Currently, Malaysia hosts the largest number of Rohingya refugees in Asia and the fourth highest number worldwide. At a pro-Rohingya rally in 2016, Malaysian then Prime Minister Najib Razak exclaimed, "I will not close my eyes and shut my mouth. We must defend the Rohingyas, not just because they are of the same faith, but they are humans. Their life have values." Najib has labeled the persecution of the Rohingyas in Myanmar as an insult to Islam and condemned Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi's silence on the issue. The protest led by the Malaysian government captured global attention. It went against the Asian Convention of Non-Interference in Member States' Internal Affairs. For the Rohingyas fleeing Myanmar, Malaysia appeared to be the flag bearer of hope. Malaysia has indeed delivered significant financial and humanitarian aid to Rohingyas refugees in Bangladesh. Notably, the Barisan National BN government under Najib established the Medan Hospital in Cox's Bazar at a cost of 3.5 million Malaysian ringgits. Lastly, in economy, Myanmar economy includes one of the lowest economy around the East Asia and Asia Pacific region. At the beginning of 2014, the per capita income of Myanmar population was only $1,105. Myanmar economy resources are indirectly independent on the Mekong River, while Myanmar economy is more dependent on the existence of the Nur Salween River. The source of electrical energy for the economic activities and livelihoods of the people of Myanmar depends on hydroelectric power plants. Economic development in Myanmar is hampered by delays in the construction of road infrastructure and inadequate electricity supply. Myanmar economic growth depends on the country incorporated in the Greater Mekong sub-region. That's all for me. Thank you, madam.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fakri Haziq bin Abdul Rahim, and I'm from AM110 from 4C class. And so for my part is I will talk about the breakdown of the social, culture and others. Okay, so for the Myanmar society background is urban area have a lower fertility rate in the region, significant marriage delay, almost unprecedented amongst developing countries, and the prevalence of illegal abortion are attributed for the rapid drop in fertility because of the considerable income inequality, resident of reproductive age delays marriage and family formation. The average age of marriage in Myanmar is 27.5 for men and 26.4 for women. Okay, so for cultural life in Myanmar way of life, also known as Burma, Buddhism has had a profound impact on Burmese culture. Additionally, Burmese culture has been shaped by its neighboring countries. After the British colonial rule and externalization, the Burmese language and educational system were influenced. Since the 1st century, Buddhism has coexisted peacefully along non-Buddhist belief in Myanmar. Okay, so for the next part is ethnic group. Myanmar is a multi-ethnic. The states will recognize 135 ethnic groups. Myanmar has at least 108 distinct and interlinguistic groups. Mostly is Tibeto-Burman, but also Austroasiatic and Monher and Homin communities.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Kimori Dehami. So, sorry for my horrible voice. So, I am from AM104C. Okay, today's topic I want to talk about the domestic issues. First of all, I want to talk about politics. A politic impasse has paralyzed Myanmar in the face of growing level of violence. Neither protesters nor the military appear to be willing back down from their position, even while China is willing to exercise non-interference. The chance of coordinated international response to the military regime remains slim. The likelihood of the humanitarian crisis on the order of the one in Syria is still quite real. In light of this, there is little cause of hope. Comparison to Syria civil war has despite by a few at least. So, however, the likelihood of humanitarian catastrophes of scale of Syria persists because neither Myanmar neighborhood interest in taking in large number on revenge. People who oppose the coup has no obvious choice for the country. So, border control has been stepped up by all three countries, and Bangladesh is already home to more than 1 million Rohingya refugees from Myanmar. Okay, second of all, I want to talk about economy. Myanmar economy is struggling with the pandemic and post-coup financial isolation at the same time, with a falling local currency and unpredicted US dollar shortage driving up import costs. Kyat has fallen nearly 50 cents since February, when Myanmar government has taken over by the military, which frees on Myanmar foreign reverse held in US as people become more concerned about the safety of their money in the bank due to withdrawal restriction. They are turning to more widely accepted currencies such as the US dollar or Singapore dollar or Thai baht. In an attempt to slow and demand for dollar, Myanmar Central Bank increased foreign currency supply and order export to their profit within 30 days. So, let's talk about social. Myanmar natural resource has potential to play a major role in the cultural economic growth due to their composition and complex extractive operation in the mineral and energy sector necessary because large and negative impact on the ecosystem and society, such as air, water quality, and soil biodiversity, and flora and fauna. Natural ecosystem service, particularly rural and coastal local, make Myanmar indigenous population extreme vulnerable to social and environment repercussion as a result of attractive operation in Myanmar and livelihood of local residents. So, according to data, industry has, despite its rapid growth and investment, environmental impact assessment (EIA) and environmental management plan (EMP) disclosure is practically non-existent. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Kainabi bin Nazilan. I am from AM1104C and my matrix number is 2020984401. So as conclusion, Myanmar's politics has been paralyzed because of growing level of violence who oppose the coup from military regime. The border control had been stepped up by all three countries who is neighbor to Myanmar because the countries cannot take any more refugees from Myanmar. People who want to flee the country does not have a choice because of this border control. From economic aspects, Myanmar suffered with the pandemic and post-coup financial isolation. When the government was taken over by military, the currency sell-off is the latest catastrophe to face the country. A public protest and pandemic have harmed Myanmar normal economic activities. The social issue of Myanmar is regarding to help national natural ecosystem services, particularly in rural and coastal locations, make Myanmar's indigenous population extremely vulnerable to social and environmental repercussions due to natural resources composition and complexity. Extractive operation in the mineral and energy sector necessarily cause large and negative impacts on the ecosystem and society. As a result of extractive operation in Myanmar, the livelihood of local residents are adversely affected. That's all from me. Thank you.